Well, my name is Wintley Phipps, and my mother gave me that name in 1955. I tell people she must have been very astute because she gave me the most Google-friendly name. You put my name in Google and nobody else comes up. But I was born in San Fernando at San Fernando General Hospital and grew up in Pitibuk. I went to Baritone, EC. I was born to a little troubled home, and so I used to get away from my parents' troubles. I had a little red tricycle, and I'd go in the backyard of my house, turn the tricycle on its side, and use one of the back side wheels as a steering wheel. And I would sit there for hours, and I would dream that I was flying to faraway places in the world and meeting important people when I was 5 and 6, 7 years old. I had a blessing. I had an opportunity when I was about 7 or 8 years old to sing a solo on Antique, which was a long time ago, but I remember the feeling that I had hearing my voice coming over the radio in Trinidad as a little boy. It was a flash of a sense of destiny. I just held it in my heart, but I really didn't know what it would portend or what it would mean. At the age of 10, we moved to Montreal, Canada. That's where I grew up. My father used to take us to the airport to say goodbye to people who were going back to Trinidad. And I'd look around, walking around the airport, I'd look around to see if anybody was looking, and I'd grab a handful of the luggage tags and I would stuff them in my pocket and go home and get a pencil and print my name, Wintley Phipps, Flight 393 London, Flight 676 Paris, just dreaming. And at the age of 16, 15 years old or so, my voice changed, and I had this voice that is a basso, bass baritone sound coming out of my throat since I was 15 years old. And at the age of 16, I dedicated my life to God, and I dedicated this voice to be used only to uplift and inspire people. And it has been an amazing ride for this little boy from Trinidad. There's nowhere in the world that I could have ever wanted to go that I haven't gone, and every continent of the world many times over. I was actually in the crowd that welcomed Nelson Mandela when he came out of prison. I was the only soloist at Diana Ross's wedding in Switzerland. I've got about 26 recorded albums and a couple of Grammy nominations, and done duets with people like Patti LaBelle, and I've just had an amazing experience. I've been blessed to sing for the last 6 presidents of the United States of America and sang at the last 2 inaugurations of President Barack Obama. But Trinidad is where I'm from. Trinidad is my foundation. Trinidad is my roots. I don't know where this voice came from, whether it was too much dasheen or too much mangoes or whatever the case may be, but it's a unique gift from God. If you go to YouTube and put in my name, Wintley Phipps, and put in Amazing Grace, you'll get a chance to see a little bit of this unusual gift that God has given to me. I'm back in Trinidad this weekend to do a concert at the Hyatt Regency Hotel downtown in Port of Spain. It's at 8 o'clock Saturday night, and we're inviting as many people who can come to make sure you purchase your tickets. They'll be able to give you information as to exactly where to go or how to get and obtain your ticket to come. It's going to be filled with some other wonderful artists. But the most important thing is, if you're searching for a sense of that vision, that dream, that can-do spirit that God has placed in you, you want to catch a glimpse of what God's been dreaming for your life, it will be a great investment of your time and resources to come on out 8 o'clock Saturday night at the Hyatt Regency, and first of all, bask in this beautiful sense of God's presence, which I know you will sense. It'll be convicting, it'll be comforting, it'll be strengthening. And I believe that God's going to give you a glimpse of what He has been dreaming for you. And I can tell you, that changes your life completely. When you catch a glimpse of the dream that God has been dreaming for you, it changes everything. About 35 years ago, I was singing in Baltimore, Maryland. I came down off the platform. A young lady was standing there. She tapped me on the shoulder, said, "Excuse me, sir, I just heard you sing, and I feel like I can talk to you. Do you have time to talk to me?" I said, "Sure." So she came by our home. We talked together, encouraged her. I'm a person of faith, so we prayed together. And after praying with her, I looked at her and I said, "You know, before you go, I don't know why, but God has impressed me to tell you He's going to bless you and give you an opportunity to speak to millions of people." She said, "No, you think God would do that for me?" And it was Oprah Winfrey. And that's how we met all those years ago. And I have been honored and blessed to have her friendship for all of those years. All because I learned a lesson early, and that is you treat all people with respect when you don't know who they are, where they're going, or what they can do for you one day. The scriptures say you entertain angels and aren't even aware of it. And so it has been my honor to really be a very important influence in her life, as she attests to. If you just Google it and go on YouTube, you'll hear what she has to say. Yes, we continue to have a personal relationship. As a matter of fact, I told her that I was coming to Trinidad, and she said, have a lot of fun. So I'm trying to do that while I'm working. And she's just a really wonderful, wonderful friend who has been a great supporter of my ministry. One of the ministries that I started in America is called the U.S. Dream Academy. We provide tutoring and mentoring after school to children whose parents are in prison in America. Because what we found was that children whose family members and whose parents are involved in the criminal justice system are most likely to follow those parents into the criminal justice system. In other words, about 60 to 70% of all children in America who end up in prison come from the children of those who are in prison now. And so we began a work almost 20 years ago where we provide tutoring and mentoring after school for children whose parents are incarcerated and children falling behind in school. And fast forward, little did I know that young lady that I met over 35 years ago, who was only making $25,000 US a year at her job, that I was able to encourage, would become the richest black woman on planet Earth. And so just when I needed resources to help start and run and this work that I do for children and prisoners, that she would be the greatest supporter that I had. For example, we have a fundraising dinner every year in America, in Washington, D.C. actually, where we raise about $1 million a year at the dinner. 2008 was a pretty tough fundraising year. The economy collapsed, you may remember, and a lot of charities were struggling. Well, at the dinner that year, because we needed it, I set the goal to reach at 1.3 million. And 7 days before the dinner, I was sitting at about 800,000 that I'd raised from individuals and corporations, but I needed a $500,000 miracle to get to this goal. So I'm praying. 2 days later, I got a call from Oprah Winfrey's assistant saying Miss Winfrey just boarded her jet to go to see her school in South Africa. And I was blessed to speak and sing at the opening of her school in South Africa. And she said, the lady said, Miss Winfrey left a FedEx package for you. Where should I send it? I said, well, send it to the corporate office. She said, well, there's a special way she wants you to open it. I said, well, then send it to my home. I got home, my wife handed me this beautifully wrapped box. And when I opened it up, there was a handwritten note from her, thanking me for my ministry in her life, for my prophetic words of wisdom, for my kindness. She was so generous in her words. But I saw an envelope, And when I opened the envelope, she had put in a check for 1.2 million US dollars. And behind that envelope, I saw another envelope dated January 1, 2009, and I opened it, and it had another check for $1.2 million. And behind that envelope, I saw another envelope, and I opened it up. It had another check for $1.3 million. So she sent almost $4 million in 3 envelopes. And then she called me from South Africa. Did you get it? I said, oh, thank you so much. And then she emailed me, and she said, you know, I love giving, and I love making it fun. She said, I considered sending you a FedEx envelope 3 days in succession. So Monday you would get the first check, Tuesday the second check, Wednesday the third. She said, but I figured by the 4th day, you would be chasing the FedEx man down. And that's why I sent them all together. But again, it has been an amazing ride for this little boy who, growing up in the bush with a tricycle on his side, dreaming that one day he may be able to travel the world, meet important people, and to see that dream realized in my life. And I want to encourage other young people on this island that the God that we love is the ultimate dreamer. And when he dreams, planets are born. When he dreams, stars twinkle in the sky. And when he dreams, he also dreams about every one of you, every one of these children. And the most amazing thing I have found in my life is to catch a glimpse of the dream that God has been dreaming for you. So come on out on Saturday night at the Hyatt Regency Hotel at 8 o'clock, and I am sure that you will be not only inspired and motivated, but you will connect with the dream that God's been dreaming for you. It can be done.